We're in the AUTOID workshop because we have a brand new shop car. It's about to arrive here in about 3 months' time, and we need to talk about it because it's caused a bit of a stir, not only online, but in the office as well. That's because we're getting the bigger brother to this car, the G90 M5. So before we get into what we have planned for that car, let's talk about the stats, because the M5 has grown in every single metric. It's heavier by almost 500 kilograms. That's basically a whole Caterham 7 sitting in a passenger seat, but it's also a lot more powerful. It's got over 100 horsepower over the previous generation. It's now at 717 brake horsepower. It's also a lot more expensive. It's gone from 103 grand to start at 111 grand. It's not all bad though, because the electric motors produce nearly 200 horsepower and they have nearly 40 miles of range, which means in the morning when you start it up, you can start up in electric mode, and that means you can have a stupidly loud exhaust because you can start your car up and start that V8 up once you've got out your neighbourhood, which I definitely approve of. That being said, the looks have been controversial. As always, I tend to be a bit of a fan with these, whereas maybe other people in the office, not so much. Obviously, we're the vehicle styling shop, so we do need to talk about looks.
It looks pretty awful at the moment, doesn't it? You like it?
I like it, I'll be honest. I think it's got a lot of potential. I think that it looks quite sharp, like it's got loads of like sharp angles, and I think, yes, it's a bit bloated and it's a bit swollen, but there's a lot of potential there for us to do something with it.
There's definitely some form of potential within it, but it's definitely going to be probably the hardest car that we've had to work with yet in terms of angles and lines, and it has no width to it. That's what I was saying at Goodwood. It has
yeah, the rear arches are just like
slabs.
Flat. Yeah. I mean, one of the things that don't make sense to me, just talking about the weight, do you know this car is 130 kilos heavier than the all-electric i5 M60? So that's like the all-electric version of the car is 130 kilos heavier than that.
So why is it so heavy?
Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't make sense. It's also slower than the previous gen. So we've not got off to a good start, but that being said, if you're in market, let's try and see what we can do.
Well, we've done a little bit of work behind the scenes. We've actually been working with some 3D CAD data, haven't we, Jack? To try and make something a little bit better.
We can take you through the process, to be fair, because a couple of people have been asking us, like, what is the process that you guys go through to make the products? And a lot of the time, you guys just see the end product, you just see what's kind of put on people's cars, but there's a lot of stuff that goes into that. So let's start with the stuff that you do like.
The stuff that I do like, not a lot. No, I've got quite a few things which I do like. So the grille, I like the LED around it. I think it's different. I know you hate that.
That's the one thing I don't. I like the whole front end of the car apart from that light up grille. But I
just think it's different though. You see it coming down the road, Transformers. I like that.
Okay.
I think the bottom big mouth is nice, other than that centerpiece which comes straight up the front.
Have you noticed how many cars have that design? I know, I've clocked onto this now, but so many different cars. Even the new Mini Cooper has it.
Yeah,
loads of them do.
I'm not quite sure what that's about, but at least they've followed the whole thing, the whole way through. It even comes through the roof.
So it goes all the way up.
That's
over,
it. Yeah. And the headlights, I absolutely hated the new Icon LED lights, but I think they might be growing on me.
Yeah, I'm still 50-50 on them, because I think I know that the Angel Eyes, they've been doing them for years now, but the reason they do that is because of the heritage with all the BMW line. So I feel like they should have carried that on, but you know, you can't stay in the past forever. Aggressive. All right, let's look at the back of the car. What do we think?
I think this is where it's gone downhill a lot more, to be honest. The rear diffuser, where it's sort of coming up, down, then back up, it looks like someone's just shoved two big slabs in. Yeah. And this sort of rear quarter panel, that could do with a little bit of enhancing. But I like the lights, and I like, to be honest, I'm not a massive fan of how flat this is as well, and that spoiler almost. It's so funny,
me and you literally have the complete opposite opinion, because I don't like the lights. I don't like the fact that they fall around here. If you look at the new G31, which is the estate of this, the new what will be the Touring, they've got a different style of lights which I prefer, which is not on this. And then on the rear bump here, I quite like this cut out here because it gives you a lot of opportunity. I mean, if you look at, we'll get onto it in a second, look at the M Performance
kit. It needs something added to it.
It needs something to it, which I do agree. Stock, it's not great, but yeah. All right, that's the car stock. Let's have a little look through what we've done so far, because I've already kind of spoke about the front end, and one of the things I think this car would do really well with is a front splitter. I had a couple of different options here, which was just going to be like a flat splitter and then try and cut in and follow these lines. And then I wanted to do the same down here.
It definitely needs something to tie it together. It looks like it's just missing something.
Yeah, agreed. And you've also got, I've just sort of done these drawings so you can see the way that these lines come across, and I think that you could have maybe like quite a nice little bumper attachment on there.
Definitely, what we like some little fins on it.
Yes, that's kind of what I've tried to illustrate there. It's like a little add-on. I think that you see it on the M2 competition, people did it. You see it on the F90 as well. Like, I think that's something that like customers will like. For me, I would probably keep it clean and keep it simple, but I know that once that's done, it will look really, really good. I also want to do something with the centre duct, because so many customers are coming to us now with M3s, M4s, M2s, all that stuff, and they're saying, can I have the mesh to go behind all the things? I think it'd be nice to design one that, like an insert, like a carbon insert with a mesh on the back. Yeah,
something that looks like aesthetically pleasing as well as functional.
Yes.
Would be good.
Right.
Aye, there we go, now we're talking.
I mean, this looks like a stick man's doing that. But
that line will be a game changer.
Yeah, I think if we cover that diffuser, like rather than get rid of that sort of body paint. Obviously, you've got the little fog, you've got the fog light now as well in the centre. I don't know if you clocked that.
Yeah, got to take into
rain light.
Yeah.
So BMW have obviously seen loads of people wanting that rain light and gone, sod it, let's
go for it.
Let's do it. And what I was trying to illustrate here is maybe some winglets. And interestingly, I did this probably about, I don't know, 4 or 5 weeks ago, these drawings. And then about 2 weeks after, the M Performance kit come out, which I think they've done a really good job with the M Performance kit.
Yeah, it is nice. That splitter is questionable, but it's nice.
I like it. I actually do, yeah. I think that looks really, really good. I think they've done a good job.
The corner's nice. It's just that centre. It looks like a little butt cheek.
Yeah, but that's kind of like Adro sort of esque.
Yeah, they've gone with the lines of the car properly.
Yeah. And then I think they've done the same with the side skirt. I've got loads of drawings on there which you guys will be able to see. Where's my mouse? There it is. So you can see what they've done with the front splitter is they've carried this line the whole way up the car, along the front decal up to the back. And then again, they've done the same here with this side skirt. They've carried that line and carried it on here on the rear. I've obviously put my own drawings on because of what we want it to look like, but I think they've done a good job with the M Performance kit.
The diffuser's looking pretty good.
The diffuser's pretty aggressive.
Oh, it's still got the...
It's still got that. I think they've carried that design over because they want to...
be different.
Yeah, they want.
BMW, innit?
So I've done some drawings over here just to sort of show what my thoughts on it would be, but we'll get onto that in a second. Then obviously we see the car in person, didn't we? At Goodwood. So these were just a couple of the reference photos we took, just showing what we think about the winglets, and then we can get on to where we are today. So these were like V1 renders of our splitter. Yeah.
Do you want to run them through quickly because the guys might want to know? What's our process when we come to design stuff? Because there's a lot that goes into it that we don't talk about.
So all of this data will be amalgamation of the actual 3D models of the car, which you can buy, but then also we've got CAD data that we've scanned from the underneath of the car to make sure that all the bolts and all of the splitter and attachment points all line up with what we have digitally and in real life as well. So that happens, and once we've reverse engineered the car, we can then get to work on actually the engineering side. A lot of this stuff that we're talking about here is design process, but there's so much more engineering, so many hours go into making this stuff fit before it kind of gets to you guys. But you can kind of see us going through this process here. So this was V1 of the splitter. We've also designed them ducts. Then V2, we've sort of changed it out a little bit. We've added these centre strakes here, which is similar to our Adro. Nice little car along there. And now you can see we're sort of starting to refine these bumper attachments.
I really like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, already looking at that, you can see that they're starting to come together.
It sort of carries this line on around the front of the car. If you look at it straight on.
I think that's it, because you look at if we quickly flick back to the stock one, it's losing so much aggression with just that point there.
Yeah, great.
And by adding that in, it's making it look like a traditional M car.
Yeah,
you see it down the road and you're like, mate,
yeah, it looks aggressive, yeah.
Aggy.
Because you can see here, they're a lot more, so you can see how we've changed it. So they were a lot thinner at first, and now we've sort of changed that to be a lot more aggressive. And then here on this splitter, you can sort of see, I've looked at that and gone, I think we need a bit more of a an expansion on that bit, so we've done that.
Just a quick one as well.
Yep.
Sorry, you see on that bit there how the splitter's kind of coming into the bumper? I don't know whether I mentioned it to you before, but about potentially lipping it out ever so slightly so the splitter's got a little bit of a CSL style-y.
So like this?
Yeah, so yeah, it's got a little bit of, there we go, is that newer
Yeah, that's the newer render, yeah. So we added that.
FYI lads, I've not actually seen all this. This is something that Jack's been working on, so it's...
Bringing him up to speed now. This is the first time Nathan's seen it.
That's it.
But this is the latest render we've got at the moment here, so you can sort of see that. Is that zooming? Oh, it is zooming. Oh, I didn't know you could do
that's
that.
bang on.
So you've got these nice design strokes here. Yeah, and it sort of comes out like you say. Sort of
but yeah, it just makes it look a bit more like
a bit wider, a bit more aggressive, yeah. And like I say, these little bumper attachments, they'll be optional. You won't have to have those, but the way we've designed them so they fit perfectly with the splitter as well. So they'll meet here. And
is this splitter, we're going to do it in a single or a 3-piece?
We're TBC. Okay. At the moment, we're TBC because I think it'd be quite nice to do it as a 1-piece.
Yeah.
The M Performance one actually that splits there, so you could have it as a 2-piece. So we could break that in half and have it as a 2-piece splitter. You have the left side and the right side. So
makes it easier to ship, and if you guys smash them off, that's the plus side of it.
Correct. So then we've got the side skirts. Now the side skirts, I'm a little bit uninspired still, to be totally honest with you. We're going for a flat add-on side skirt because we think that's what most customers are going to want.
Definitely.
The new M5 has this weird kind of little air duct there that in person when you see it, it doesn't actually go anywhere, which is a bit weird. But it's there, so we'd recognise it a little bit in the design, so you'll see that we've got this little indentation there in the side skirt. Yeah,
just so people know it's part of the car and not part of the kit, I guess.
And then down the back of the rear, we've just basically tried to replicate the same endpoint that we have on the splitter. So you can see that there, that design. We've just tried to copy that over. I think we're probably going to try and make that a little bit smaller, that little winglet. I'm starting to go off that sort of whole design.
Winglety.
Yeah. Now this is where things were a little bit questionable, weren't they?
Yeah. Jack showed me one shot of this this rear diffuser. Can I just say the bits that I like about it at the moment?
Yeah. Well, don't forget we've had loads of change. We've changed this quite a lot since.
Oh really?
Yeah. Like this was. I'll be honest. I had an idea in my head, and then when I visualised it in 3D, I was like, this does not look like how I thought it was going to look. It doesn't look that good.
Straight away looking from that, it's very, very boxy.
Yeah. So if you look here, see this design here.
I like the winglet.
You like? Oh, you don't mind that?
Yeah,
I'm shocked. I didn't think you'd like that.
No, I don't like these lines that are coming across and like almost shutting the exhaust in.
So what we've done, basically, the splitter will be 2 parts. It'll be a 2-part kit. So you'll have the whole diffuser here, and then this winglet and this underbody section will be a whole separate product.
Yeah. So like a proper underbrace.
Yeah. So you'll have the whole diffuser, the carbon diffuser that exists here. And then this winglet and the underbody will be a different bit. But if I carry on round, so here you can see the diffuser's quite straight.
I love how we've built up the diffuser part. That looks so much more complete.
Yeah.
So much
and then
more.
What we've done as well now, I've changed it so it follows the curve of the body. I don't know if you can see here, it's quite straight, and I wanted to follow it round, so we've changed that. And then what I've realised was the reason this was a bit jarring was because it's just one straight line. And if you look at other sort of underbody diffusers like this on the market, what they actually do is they drop down around the exhaust tips, and it adds a bit of dimension to the car. So that's what we've done in the most recent ones.
That looks a lot better.
And we're starting to get there. I don't think we're fully there yet.
Oh, I don't know about it's got quite a big step here. That needs a little bit more of an angle. Maybe rather than, you see this bit here? Sorry, just a bit of feedback.
So you mean like this?
Yeah, if they were at the same level,
the
lines are at the same level, but then this one had more of an angle down.
Okay.
So because that looks a bit jarring to me, where that one's offset from that.
Yeah, so you mean...
But that is better than the other one.
Yeah, so what I've tried to illustrate is we're going to chop the ends off, so they're a bit...
Yeah.
Why don't we'll print both?
Yeah.
We'll print both options, We'll print both options.
And definitely print it without that step thing, because I'm still not 100%
Yeah. So like I say, that whole diffuser, just to be clear, that whole diffuser will be available without this underbody and the winglets. Just because I'm like you, one day I'll like it, one day I won't. So I think it's worth having both options. Front split, we've just gone through that. I think we're probably 90%, 95% of the way there, haven't we?
I really like that.
That's pretty close to being done. And then the side skirts, obviously these are literally, you can see here, this is just an engineering version of, just a design version of the split skirts. But the idea is just to keep this really simple and clean.
Yeah, you could even go with just a plain flat one as well.
100%, yeah, 100%. But yeah, then that brings us to kind of where we are. Obviously we've got a spoiler on here as well at the moment, but me and you both aren't convinced by this at all, are we?
Nah, I think the spoilers is going to be our hardest thing to do on this whole car. Mainly because I feel like it needs to stretch over these bits here.
Yeah.
I feel like the boot is almost a little bit out of proportion to the whole car.
Yeah.
So if it's just going to be impossible though. Well, not impossible, but it's going to be very hard for us to make one that splits and the boot comes up and then it sits out. I think if that's sat out to like here, a bit like, see like the Urban RS6s, where the spoiler wraps right round, but the boot's bigger. But I like that sort of look and that would flow nicely with this car.
We could do something like that. It would just mean that there'll be a little lip hanging off the edge of the boot every time you lift it up.
Or that.
But I think
rather than the 3M bonding, you'd have foam which would sit up and down.
Then just on the back, because whilst we're here, you can see these winglets before the yellow lines. They kind of stick out and they're a bit bulbous. So I've just sort of like trimming those in and then getting rid of that canard.
That makes sense.
Yeah, because we don't really need it basically.
Yeah.
But yeah,
the diffuser we definitely need to do a little bit more work on. That's 100% transformer spec.
It is. But
it's
the
quite
car
aggressive. Is a transformer car though.
This is the thing. Like I think in the past, I'm quite understated with how we do our styling.
Yeah.
And I think more often than not, people that are modifying these cars, if they're not going for M Performance, they're going for a more aggressive option.
That's it, yeah. Even though G Series M Performance is pretty good.
Yeah, and but I think you've got brands like 3D Design and more kind of subtle design brands that customers will go for, which obviously TRE is not in that range of customer anyway. I think this is I think it's a nice start though.
See the centre bit here?
Yep.
What are we essentially thinking at the moment in terms of passing through that fog light? Would it be unbolting it and then rebolting it to the diffuser, or allowing it to be like a flush pass through light?
I think it depends. When we get the car and we've got the rear bumper off, when we can do that and we can sort of see how it's affixed, we'll make a decision. I think what will end up being the case will just be a pass through, because it would just be easier to do it that way for customers. So they've not got to remove their rear bumper.
That makes sense.
To do it. But I think we just will, once we've got our car here on the ground and we've stripped it down, we can make that decision. Right guys, so we are now in Blender and we have the 3D rendered version of the kit in front of us, and we've been making a couple of changes. We've got Sammy on the microphone because he is the guy that helps us do all of our rendering and renders out these for us. But yeah,
basically we give this Sammy guy a very hard job because Jack will tell him to do loads of stuff and then I'll look at it and say, can you change this, this, this?
Yeah.
So you got your work cut out, bro.
I appreciate that.
Right, so let's have a look then at that front splitter in detail. Yeah, that's
lovely.
Looking good, mate.
It is coming out very, very nice. Can we see it in colour quickly?
Yeah, of course, man.
Yeah, as you can see, that is literally making a huge difference to the car straight away, isn't it?
What do you think about my suggestion of splitting it in half?
What, splitting the splitter in half from the middle?
Yeah. I like the M Performance one.
I love a one-piece splitter. I like that complete front end look. I think it rounds off the whole car and brings it all together. But if you do that, it's going to make it very much like the M Performance one. I feel like if someone wants a split splitter, they'll go for the M Performance one.
Yeah, okay.
Because we'll most likely bring out a similar version.
Yeah, down the line.
Yeah.
I wonder if you can bring that splitter out maybe a bit more.
Problem is, you bring it out more, then people are going to start smashing them and stuff, and the person that's buying an M5 isn't going to be a really stancy boy.
No, that's true.
It needs to be like a prestige looking kit.
Yeah.
Knowing they can go over a bump all right.
Yeah, I do. I hear that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm happy with it.
What about straight? Yeah. No, I think that's good actually. Yeah. No, I think if I start looking at it, I'll change it for the sake of changing it. That's perfect as it is. Let's have a little look at the side skirts then, because I think that's where
the spoiler's the most important thing. I think
spoiler is definitely, we'll talk about that definitely. I just want to try and... Did you make the winglet smaller, Sammy?
Yeah.
That looks better.
Times.
Yeah, I think that's right. I think that's how it should be. Cool. All right.
I like them skirts now.
Yeah, the skirts look nice.
Yeah, the main thing's rear diffuser and spoiler, isn't it? That's going to be the hardest thing to try and get right.
So did you see my recent feedback on the... What do you want to go, spoiler or diffuser first?
Go with the spoiler first.
All right, so spoiler, what we were thinking, Sammy, was extending the spoiler over the boot lid so it follows almost that same line there, yeah. That line.
That swage line that comes off the rear quarter.
Yeah, so it comes down and then see the other line coming down from the rear quarter? Next one along on the left, that line, yeah. So almost as far as that, I think.
Okay.
I just think at the moment it looks...
The boot, is it going to be like hanging off?
Yes. Yeah, so it'll be hanging off a little bit, but we just want to sort of see what that looks like.
Can you zoom right out? Yeah.
And then just...
No, that looks better, bro.
Yeah.
Like, straight on back, it curves around the car properly.
Yeah, I do agree. And in the centre, Sammy, do you mind? I know we went against this, but just dropping that centre piece, just the tiniest little bit. No, if you zoom in, you're on the top edge. So you're similar to the CSL style, basically, just dropping it just a subtle bit.
Oh, so...
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Just
like
just a tiny bit. Yeah, I quite like it.
A smoothing. That's the sort of weird angles that are on the car.
Yeah, it is.
Like them weird, like.
Yeah, I quite like that, Harry. Yeah, I like that.
That looks sick.
Yeah.
Alright, well we might have accidentally just banged it just then.
Yeah, nice. Can you just show the ladies and gentlemen what it looks like without the winglets altogether? Like if you get rid of just that bottom section.
Oh, that looks so much better.
Yeah, see, so it looks clean.
I think this bottom thing's going to need a lot of work to try and make it look clean.
Yeah.
100%.
But that looks nice. That looks nice as it is, doesn't it?
100%, yeah. You could even... No, I was going to say about
the only thing that I am a bit about is this section here drops down a little bit too far.
Yeah.
But that's to sort of accommodate for the
Yeah.
rest. Otherwise, if that's too high up, then it just kind of looks a bit...
Yeah, it's got nothing to go into. Yeah.
I don't think it looks bad as well, because a lot of the M cars, when they come out of factory, they've got a big fat ball bag exhaust. So if we could drop down a little bit to try and cover that up a touch.
Yeah, agreed.
I don't know what exhaust this is going to have, but it's going to have a ball bag.
Yeah, it will do, yeah.
Yeah, I've actually opened up the exhaust section a little bit more, so that
we can have bigger exhaust tips.
Yeah.
Bigger exhaust tips, yeah.
Yeah, perfect.
No, I really like that.
See, so it looks good without...
I think it looks good without that. The bottom bit we're going to have to do some serious work with.
Yeah.
Just to try and make it look... It just looks a little bit like... It's like a race car. That's what you'd put on like a race car.
I do also think though that doing it in this colour, in the green...
Or in the black as well.
That's what I mean. In the black it don't look bad. I think in the black it looks nice once you start seeing it.
It's very, very out there.
Yeah.
If you've got a bottle, you'd get that.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? No, sorry, I do take that back a little bit. I don't mind it in where now it's been coloured. I think it looks a lot worse in green.
In green, where it stands out and you see every angle.
But when you cut, can you get the rear quarter angle? It does give a... It's got a fat coming off the rear of it though. It's like it almost needs a wing. Stop hanging a wing on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, quickly put a wing on it as well. You know what that looks... No, don't. It is a lot going on though with that bottom bit even still though.
I do agree, there is quite a lot going on.
There is, yeah.
I think it might...
It's that wing
bit.
bit.
Clean it up by making that edge one.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think we need to clean that edge up. And once you've cleaned that up, it looks good. Yeah, I think that needs cleaning up. Right, thank you for your time today, Sammy, for getting that sorted for us. We're going to finish the video there because we've gone through loads of stuff. There's loads of changes to be made, but it's an exciting time. We've got loads of development on the way, and this is going to be a lovely new shop car. And we have one other shop car that we need to be doing the exact same thing for in a couple of weeks' time. So wait and find out what that is. But that'll end it for now.
Nice one. Thanks for watching.
That,
Cheers as well, Sammy.
Cheers, Sammy. Take
Love
care.
you, Sammy.
Yes. Bye.
Bye.